Alright, so you want to make a kill brick. Let's start with the easiest way to do this, and that is obviously make a new part. You can insert parts in a couple ways. There's the part, you should have the part button in the home tab here, as well as in your workspace. If you hover over the workspace, there should be a little plus icon. You can type in part if you need to, but it should be at the very top here. You make it in, you can put a new part. This, you know how to, if you already know how to color it, that's good. Otherwise, let's do a quick rundown. Here is your base colors. You can do red, and then here's your materials. Let's do neon. If you want to use a mesh, you can. There's other ways you can make this look better if you want to, but this is mostly just over the code. We'll name this kill brick. You can name it anything because this script does not change depending on the name. So let's do a really quick script, and I'll go over how a lot of this works. So script.parent.touchedConnect function. So this is obviously assuming you're a beginner because this is a very low-level script. So script.parent is it referencing the script, or the part itself, and then .touch, this is an event. So if it gets touched by something, then connect, and that's doing a function, and a function is just running some lines of code to do an action or to do a thing. So whenever we do a function, we, for the most part, we could use connect, and then you put the thing here, and then in these parentheses are actually where it passes information. And for this specific thing, for touched, the first thing it passes is the object that touched it. So we'll name the object that touched it hit. Now, obviously, because if this, each like for example for the character, the part that would touch would be either the left or the right leg, which is a part of the character's main model. So what we can do to detect that is say if hit, now this is assuming it's one of the legs, dot parent find first child humanoid. Now the humanoid is just the part that controls like the health, for example, and it's what identifies something as being a creature. Or an NPC, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to say if hit.parent, find first child humanoid. Now find first child is just if it has a humanoid. So if it has a humanoid, then hit.parent.humanoid.health equals 0. And then if we run this, it should kill the player if he touches it. So I'm going to go over to the part here, and it might act a little wonky because I didn't disable... I didn't mess with the physics at all. I just, oh, yep, there we go. So that's how you make a kill brick with some basic explanation of the code itself. And if you want to do something else, like for example, change the player's health, the way you would change it incrementally instead of just immediately setting it to 0, if you want to change it piece by piece, you can do hit.parent. Well, hit.parent.humanoid.health equals hit.parent.humanoid.health minus, and then whatever number you would want to make it. And just for an extra little thing you can do, you can say local damage equals, and then you can set this damage to be whatever you want. I'm going to actually just set it to be 2 for this, and then minus damage. And then what we can do from there is print print, and we'll just say touched. And then so this will, if you have real quick, if you don't already have your output open, whenever you're coding you should have your output open. The output can tell you if there's any errors in your coding, as well as for these print sections. This is really good for if you want to know if specific code is running. You can do one of these, and then if it actually does say what it, like for example touched, it'll show in this output. At least it should show in this output. So if I run this, it'll say for each time the player touches it, it'll remove his health by 2. And it'll even say when it's like, for example, you'll see this should count up when I start touching it, as well as my health starting to go down. And yep, my health is going down, and it's touching repeatedly the more I walk around on this until eventually I die. And you can keep doing this. There's a bunch of ways you can change this. If you already know how to deal with a lot of this stuff, you can tinker around with more. Like, for example, actually, one very last thing I want to show you is the reason we specify this earlier and then just have it set to damage is so if you have a bunch of different code that's similar things all referring to damage, what you can do is change one thing instead of having to change all the other versions of the number that you have in your code. Now this is for much bigger, that's for much bigger code, but this is the fundamentals. So we're not going to be messing with any of that right now. But just to make a kill brick, the way you would do it is, let me quickly, for the people making a regular kill brick, boom. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.